Okay, so, all right, so we're live. We're gonna finish this story here. No, you're in with us. You're sitting right here.
Okay, yeah.
I'll grab. You've got a cutter, right? We've got whiskey.
Yeah.
We gotta grab pops.
Good to finally meet you. I mean,
Yeah.
all the time you've been here, I've been doing something else, and we had events, and so
There we
super
go.
happy to meet you.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Good.
I'm gonna go track Pops down because he definitely doesn't know that we're live right now.
I'll go get him. I got 2 minutes to go find him.
Okay, good luck. So I'm standing out and I'm standing by just on the other side of the garage. I'm calling Ali. I'm like, oh, you wouldn't believe how cool this is. And here comes Gunter around the other side. He comes and he walks straight up, did nothing more but to say, hey, I'm sorry I didn't have time, but I'm Gunter Steiner. And I said, I know who you are. I was like, hang on, Ali, I'm going to call you back. Okay. And we sat and spoke, I don't know, for 20 minutes or a half hour about cigars and about
That's
you.
nice. He likes cigars, huh?
He loves cigars. So I had Patoros with me, so I'm giving him Patoro, I'm giving him a house stick. I was like, this is my
That's
favorite.
good.
I'm
You're right. He
handing-
likes.
And his daughter, Greta, was there. And
His daughter was there?
His daughter was there.
Oh, I
And
haven't
he's
met
like,
her
well,
yet.
hide him from my daughter. You know, she thinks I'm going to get cancer. And so it was, we sat and spoke for the longest time. And our conversation was just so engaging and rewarding. And I thought, this, of the people in F1 that I've always wanted to be, like Gunter Steiner's the guy, right? And he's just this no bullshit, says it the way it is, doesn't watch his mouth. I appreciate that. And here I am halfway into it, and I said, look, we started asking about how the day's going and how he's feeling. I said, well, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Pops, we have 50 seconds left, by the way. I said,
scoot over towards
yep, come on over here.
No, you're good. Just scoot over. There you go.
All right, what do we got? 44 seconds?
What do you need to drink?
I can take a piss.
Oh, God damn it.
I'm all excited now.
So we whip out a $6,000 lighter? Of course. We got a $6,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Who made it?
The DuPont. The space shuttle. It's a space lunar lander.
Boy, 6,000. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, Elliot saw it at the show and he's like, I gotta have it.
But
So we ordered it in May. It just got here.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah, look
Good
at that.
to
It's
know.
just beautiful.
It is beautiful. Who is distributing this now in the US?
Coles of London.
How close are we?
Because Davidoff did it before, right? And they dropped
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
yeah.
Kind of,
Oh yeah, we've been live for a minute.
At least.
I
What's
just
up, boys?
heard
Are we on?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live.
that. Hey,
Oh, hang
what's
on.
up?
We gotta pour drinks.
Hold on.
We got people in.
Yeah.
Okay, Captain Underpants is in. We've got people in already. Hit share because this is gonna be
This is gonna be a
great.
stellar show.
100%. Pops is gonna drink some Lone Elm.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so we are drinking Lone Elm whiskey. It is.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me turn the volume down.
It is 100% Texas whiskey. This is.
Nice.
Yeah, everything is from Forney. It's just from the south of here. I'm gonna put this here so it's not blocking us. We're rocking, boys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Did you want to shut that off? No.
Yeah, how's the audio? Everybody, let us know how the audio is. Is
Cheers.
that coming through? Pops, here you go.
Yeah. Nice.
Cheers to all of you.
I still don't drink.
Well, here's water for
That's
you.
good.
Yeah.
That I
You
just
still
stole
smoke,
from
so-
Adrian.
Yeah. Oh no, that's not going to
I'm
stop.
happy.
Oh yeah, I don't need that shit.
Well, I went to a cardiologist and he goes, "Do you smoke?" And I go, "I own a cigar lounge." "Oh, well, you need to stop smoking." I go, "I need another cardiologist." And he's like, "Well, no, you need to stop." I go, "No, I'm serious," and I left. And then they send me a bill for the whole amount. I went, "I wasn't there that long. You didn't even have a chance to do anything. You just gave me a lecture."
Do you know
I'm
how
not
many
paying $400 for a lecture?
bitches?
We're loud and clear. We're good.
Excellent, man.
Yeah.
This is what a good day this is.
Today has ended
10 minutes late, but that's all right.
10 minutes late. We don't have a start time.
We do.
Yeah, it was 7:30 when we started doing this show.
Yeah, I remember.
But
45 minutes late. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's Swiss time.
Swiss time is on time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the
Yeah.
Cyrus telling us? On time?
It's on time, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning back home.
Is it really? So
Wow.
everyone, this is Pablo Richard. This is yes.
Yes.
God.
Everybody applaud
Yeah.
at home.
One of the owners of Patoro Cigars. I think one of our
Let's take that and scoot that aside, and one of the best humans that I know.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
100%.
I give this compliment back to you guys.
Thank you.
I feel home here.
Good. You should. You should. You are.
Yeah, you are most certainly home. It's, you know, when you have family, my grandparents are coming into town for Thanksgiving. I'm telling people, I'm like, hey, do you know Duke's coming? You know, Grandma Mickey's coming? Same thing. I'm telling Holly, I was like, hey, I might not be at home a lot because, you know, Pablo's coming into town. So,
I know we got a baby and everything, but
yeah.
she's gonna sleep anyway.
Yeah, well, we've trained her because a week ago we went, thanks to you, to F1 and I left her with said baby. So I know she can handle it.
Yeah.
So
It's like getting an A on your report card. You little bastards could do it once. Why can't you do it every time?
we never got an A on her.
Well, one time.
So you,
There was that one time, yeah, for sure.
There's always the one
We're
time.
getting a lot of love, Pablo, from Zach Peterson, Susan Kirby. Yeah.
thank you.
Susan would be dry humping him right now.
So I will learn from you, Brandon. You have to train them the right way, huh? Then everything works.
Yeah, you have to try. Noelle definitely isn't watching this, right? I'll make sure that Noelle is not going to watch that. We should blacklist her there.
Well,
Yeah, train.
Pablo is the reason that Brandon and I had one of the greatest motorsports experiences in the history of our lives. And
One of.
I'm saying it's solid first and maybe is no second.
Last week, we went through an exercise to talk about the greatest thing that's happened to you. And it wasn't until after we got done talking that you reminded me that I have a newborn.
Yeah,
So that's
Yeah.
how cool that was.
yeah. I'm glad your wife doesn't watch this.
No, that's most certainly.
No one send the link to Olive, please.
Yeah, please. So we've got a lot of local love. We've got love coming in from Missouri.
Yep.
We've got love coming in from New Mexico right now.
Yes.
We're spanning out a little bit.
We
Beautiful.
Are. Denton. We got people from all over.
Denton.
LaGrange, Missouri, of course.
Definitely.
Yes. This is
So-
great. He just walked in the door, literally.
That's why we're late, because I wanted to just kind of slow play it, maybe. And if it wasn't
could
at
happen.
8, then I was pushing. So
And I was kind of looking at, I was kind of setting up Jamon. I was like, so, you've been on the show with us before, not, thinking I'm going to have to put a second stringer in. And I love Jamon. I mean,
don't say it like that.
He's not
in
watching.
the lounge.
he's
No,
not
we
watching.
love you as
He
well.
didn't pay his
100%.
Facebook bill. So,
Here's what I want to know. What does everyone who's watching want to know about Pablo, about Patoro, about Switzerland, about watches, F1? I mean, you are like the most interesting guy in the
Oh,
world.
come on.
Yeah, for sure.
But please ask, whatever you want.
Yeah, send in your questions, guys.
What do you got,
Discuss
Adrian?
them. Shoot, I've never been to Switzerland, and I think you have obviously.
Brandon
You-
was
you-
there,
yeah,
and Dave's
you
gonna
went
come
one
soon.
Yes.
One of the comments said.
February, or March.
March.
No, March or April will
Yeah,
be
one of the
this.
comments
Spring,
that Brandon said
yes.
that you can smoke basically anywhere.
No, I think that's Darren was saying about Serbia. You can smoke in a library in Serbia,
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
but in Switzerland,
It's a little tougher.
Okay.
It's a little tougher.
But they have a smoking lounge in the airport, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's private, and normally it's difficult to find places where you can smoke.
Really?
So you need to go to a hotel with a smoking lounge. You need to go to a store, and in gastronomy, it depends where you live. Some places you can have 1/3 of the place, you can have a smoking area
Okay.
dedicated to smokers, but in general, you can't smoke.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you gotta find your way.
okay.
It is possible,
Similar to
but
so yeah.
they don't make it easy.
So you said a hotel. Is that a normal place for a cigar lounge to be in Switzerland? Is it a hotel?
Yeah, I
Here
like
it is not.
Yeah, It is because the good 5 stars hotel in Switzerland, they have a cigar lounge. So you go there.
Okay.
So you would just go hang out at a hotel?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Because you don't hang out at the cigar store. Because the cigar stores are tiny. Maybe they have a table and 2 seats. So you don't
That's
stay
it.
there. You buy and you
Buy
leave.
Okay.
And
So
then you
they-
go to a hotel.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
shit, that is different. Much
Or to a
different.
restaurant where you know you have a big terrace, or you
Yeah.
have a space, a corner where it's dedicated to smokers.
Okay.
But otherwise, yeah, we don't have that culture to go to a cigar store to smoke.
This
Nothing like this, where you have
No.
all of these
Yeah.
people. That,
keep
It
keep the
doesn't
questions
exist.
coming. We've got a lot of questions coming in.
Jim Trader has a question. I don't know what that word means.
What do you think of Verstappen?
No, it's a different level. It's unbelievable. And not only as a driver, I think also as a personality and the people he gets behind him. I mean, that's just
So he's an F1 driver.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He's in the
He's
he's in
Tiger
the
Woods
championship
right now.
league,
Gotcha.
yeah.
yeah.
and he's kind of dethroning Lewis Hamilton, who is the Tiger Woods, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most winning. He's the winningest
Yeah.
driver in the history. More than I think he has 10 more wins than Schumacher at this point, and he's top level. And here comes young Verstappen. How did you? Before we get into this useless cigar knowledge, Sean Ratz is a huge F1 fan. He's the 928. He is a world-renowned 928 specialist, which is going to be your car for the week, and it's going to drive well because of Sean Ratz. And he has. How did you get into sponsoring the Haas team? What's that look like? I wondered that too.
the background. To be honest, I didn't aim for it. All the teams had already an official timekeeper, and the Haas team was for the last 5 years with Richard Mille, and they were happy. And then there was this opportunity because Richard Mille left the Haas team for Ferrari, which I kind of
Interesting.
understand.
Right.
And so there was a space left in the Haas team. And actually the company, the agency who negotiated the new deal, I knew the guy. He lives in Switzerland, in Basel. He's a German guy. And he called me one day and said, Pablo, maybe I have the opportunity of your lifetime that you can join the Haas team with your watch brand as an official timekeeper. So that's how we started the negotiation.
And then you make your way in.
And then I
it's
made
simple.
my way in. The negotiations were tough, but we made it through because they're a young, dynamic team. We are the same, and we want to grow together. So I think it's a perfect fit. A little bit the rookies of the Formula One that want to develop, and that's why it fits pretty well.
And your watch brand is Cyrus.
Exactly. It's Cyrus. We are a young team. We're 10 years old now. And we stand for the conquest of innovation. So we invent special functions or new complications that we interpret them in a different way. We want to go a little bit a new path with new technologies, new innovation that hadn't been done before.
You were telling me, it's amazing because you were talking about this. You have one that tracks the phases of the moon, and it actually has a little moon on it, and the ball rotates. How was that? I can't quite recall.
So this was the first 3D moon phase actually in watchmaking. And we have a 6 millimeter diameter moon in the watch. The moon face engraved by hand. I think 85 of the surface is known, so it's engraved by hand. And you have a little cover that comes up, covers the moon, and indicates the different moon phases.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
that's a
This new
little
one you guys
gadget
just released, I read the story on it. One of maybe 10 created, and it just said price. It said something like,
See if you qualify.
see if you qualify,
Yeah.
or good
On
fucking
demand.
luck, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have to
Yeah.
ask, you can't
If
afford
you
it.
gotta ask. Yeah.
Oh.
Now, so after the race, now you qualify.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, well, I'm not quite in that type of.
So you go to the race and it's $119.
I'll take all 10.
It is one MasterCard.
Yeah, take master charge. No, if you haven't seen Cyrus, you should just open up another tab and type that in. CYRUS. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Where's the balance of cigars and Cyrus, and what does your day-to-day look like? I mean, you don't look like you've aged a minute since we met you 4 years ago, so you must have it
Because
figured
I
out.
don't sleep. No.
That's the trick.
No. I mean, my day-to-day business is cigars. I work 100% for cigars, and that's my big passion. And the watch business is the business of my father, and I'm member of the board, and I help him as much as I can next to my cigar business. And of course, there are two things that I love. Both of them are my passion, and I think you can combine it very well. You know, we do a cigar event, people smoke a cigar, has time for 1 hour. So what we do, we show them watches. So it's a nice thing to combine. Men, what do they like? They like cigars, watches, cars. So it all fits together, and I think we can combine it very well. And I hope in the future we will do a watch and cigar show at Industrial Cigars.
I'm looking forward to it. Let me know when you come out with the $119 model, because it's got my name all over it. No, that is, I think you're exactly right. You just have this pairing of life, this balance of life, which seems to work exceedingly well. You're changing things, and I'm sorry for it, just kind of take it and running it with it, but from the Cyrus, you're trying new things with cigars. Let's segue, because this Friday we have an event, the launch of a new cigar, a white and gold party. If you don't have tickets, tough shit, because they're all gone. Nice, you threw the little, that's the Italian side.
It's all gone.
And so let's talk just a little bit about this new project and what you've come through. What's the story behind it?
So the story behind it is actually a couple of years ago, I went to see a winery in the Burgundy. I went to see Romane Conti, one of the most famous wines from France. And we went to the vineyards around it. And once we arrived, it's a little vineyard close to Romane Conti. And there the soil is very light, very bright, and also the grapes are very light. So I saw that, I was wondering, and the guy tells me that this terroir is called Terre Blanche. So I did actually a special wine with them, especially for me. But the funny story is why I am telling that, because a couple of years ago I went to the Dominican Republic and I walked to the fields with Leo Reyes, and he showed me a special field. It was also, the soil was very light and they had little stones. And I asked him, why is the soil so bright and light? And he tells me it's because of the limestone. They have a lot of limestone in this region, and that's why the soil is very white. So I said, oh, interesting. I have like a déjà vu with the winery. And then I asked him, what happens to the tobacco in this region? And he tells me it gives a little sweet taste to it. When I heard that, for me it was clear, I'm going to do a cigar with tobacco from this specific soil. Nice. And I'm going to call it Terre Blanche, like the wine as well, because it fits perfectly. And that's why I wanted to do a cigar from there, a very smooth one, a very creamy one, a light one with a sweet toast. And here we are with the Terre Blanche.
I cannot.
And the timing.
I cannot wait.
I want to say the timing to come out with a beautiful Connecticut, something that's got complexity and depth. We're seeing some really good Connecticut's come on the market right now. And a lot of people that were medium plus smokers are coming back and smoking these Connecticut's for the reasons you say, smooth, creamy, rich, but yet it's a cigar that you can tell has complexity to it, depth, and all that. Yeah. So where before somebody would buy maybe an Atabey in order to get that experience, there's other cigars now that are categorized as Connecticut's that we're seeing unbelievable success with because of this.
I'm happy to hear
this depth. So, it seemed like the industry was racing towards the darkest, strongest cigar that these group of guys that were trying to outdo each other. and I think it's good because I think a lot of them have in football they outkick their coverage,
Yep.
and they've gone and made stuff that nobody enjoys smoking more than once, and people are coming back to this smooth, and I'm really excited to try this cigar because that's kind of where I've been living is the Connecticut world, and smoking some of these really good Connecticut's. So I'm really excited.
I like that too because at the end I think to do a strong cigar is quite easy. You put some ligero, you add ligero, and you have this powerhouse. But at the end, if it's too strong, you can't even taste or feel the nuances of the cigars anymore.
Right.
So for me, I was always aiming to a cigar that's more for aroma than for strength, and to do a mild cigar but with a nice complexity. That's what I was aiming for, and I think that's a difficult part in blending. And if you achieve that, to have a nice, smooth, well-balanced cigar with a nice complexity, I think then you have achieved it. That's for me the summum of blending.
So did you make a red label with a Connecticut on it?
Yeah.
That Lancero has a Connecticut?
Exactly.
Was that the jumping point to see, can I make a cigar that has this complexity but still being mild?
Yes. So to be honest, that's the best-selling cigar in Switzerland and Europe. But there I knew that people are looking for a cigar like that. Because most of the questions, like they ask here, do you have a full-bodied cigar? In Switzerland, do you have a mild cigar? This is kind of the first question. Yeah? So there I was confident. About here, I didn't really know. So, of course, the Lancero in a Connecticut shed was kind of a test to see how people would react, but the reaction was quite well. So you're right. I said I want to do the next step.
Well,
and bring a line with the Connecticut.
I think this is a lot of what this time is when we get together, because it's okay. I think we've all been taught, I think probably wrongfully, that the best way to do it is start with a Connecticut cigar, Connecticut wrapper, and then make your way strong, right? If you're a good cigar smoker, you're going to want a strong cigar. But I don't think that's right. I don't think that's the right method. And the reason why is because your palate might not want a strong cigar. And I think this gives us a great opportunity right now of identifying flavor, matching someone's palate, delivering flavor without strength. And I think that's who we're really seeing align and do exceedingly well in our humidor, are the people who focus on flavor, not strength. Sensation is easy, right? Yeah. You can toss anything in there and undercook it and let it go. But to take that nuance, and I credit a lot I credit guys like Crux, I credit Darren Chaffee of Principal Cigars, and a number of others.
Of course.
Nelson, of course. But I credit a lot of these guys who just focus on delivering the best of the best and just get the edges knocked off.
And I think that to add to that is when you fill a cigar with extremely high quality elements, that you're really doing a disservice by throwing some ligero leaf or an undercooked leaf or something to create sensation, because it really takes away from letting the rest of those leaves talk and do what they're supposed to do. And I think leaving that out and just letting everything just stand on its own, I'll tell you, the quality stuff, and I think why your cigar is doing so well in Europe is they could taste your cigar and what's coming out of Cuba today. The depth and just all of the flavors that come out of your cigar versus a Cuban has one note. It's going to be with you the whole cigar. You either like that note or you don't. Yeah. But with your cigar, it's just we always refer to it like with a baseball. You got major leaguers and you got these guys that are playing AAA, and you can tell the difference.
You can
feel
the
as soon
difference.
as you smoke it, you go, yeah, this is a big league cigar. This one is playing in a different league.
Well, I just smoked that Exo Bellicoso earlier.
Thank you. And it's a trip, it's like you go on a holiday for 1.5 hours. And the holiday is exciting, you don't lie on the beach for 1 hour. No, you have a lot to do. You know, it changes. You know, you have different nuances coming
That's a good
in,
point. That's a great analogy.
and you have ups
Yeah,
and
I like
downs.
that.
And
that.
Yeah, and those a vacation you sit on the beach for a week and do nothing but sit on the beach. It has its role, but it's boring in the end. You're not making new memories, right? And that's where I think chasing the flavor, where it's floral or it's like caramel or whatever, you kind of go, oh, I missed that. I got to smoke that again.
Yeah.
Let's do that one again.
And that's a good point also with the Terre Blanche. You will see if you smoke it, if you finished it, you feel like smoking another one. And that's the amazing thing. You don't need to. I mean, you love to if they smoke another
we
one or
will.
a third. You
Yeah,
can
we
do
will.
it.
Yeah.
But you have the sensation. You finish it like, I want to
And
get
you
more.
know,
Yeah, that's at Zulu.
And I
like
love
it,
that. You know, it's not that it's done. You had a meal that you can't eat for 3 days anymore.
Right.
No.
But there's not a lot of cigars that will do that.
Yeah.
There's a few that these guys have
Yeah.
in the
Session
humidor. Yeah, where you can like, you know what, I finished the cigar, and I will typically have maybe 2 or 3 in the evening, and they won't be back to back the same one. But in this case, I can see that.
I have been this
Yeah.
excited about
Yeah.
I can't wait to try it.
maybe a couple cigars in the history of cigars.
Yeah.
This is,
I'll tell you, when I'm smoking a cigar like you're talking about, the psychological trick that I play with myself, when it's getting to the end and I'm like, man, this thing's going too fast and it's so good, I'll peel the label off and go, oh, I got a whole bunch more cigar left. You know, it's just when the label's off, oh, look at that, I got a Robusto left. I'm in good shape.
Yeah.
yeah. This, Zach,
good one.
So Zach is coming in here a ton with comments about how he started strong, came here. He's from New Mexico. Actually came here and is now kind of pulling himself back on the strength scale. And
But
that's
Yeah.
and that's
A
the
huge
key. I
fan.
mean, think about if you went and ate Mexican food every day. If you just filled it with habanero, at some point you just gotta I just want to taste something
Yeah.
and not go through that
yeah,
experience.
Lauda.
Yeah.
my wife's
Your
mom.
mother-in-law will try to kill you.
I can't walk into my house and she's here about the third week because my eyes are just stinging. She just cooks everything spicy. I love it,
Yeah.
but that sessionability, that being able to go back to it. Now Zach Patterson he's chiming in. He's chimed in a couple times with the Serie P. The Serie P uses a Cubra. Is that right?
Yes.
What is it that we should be pulling from the Cubra that cigar uses? What do you get from that cigar, from that blend?
I think the Cubra wrapper is a hybrid of a Cuban and the Brazilian seed. It's grown in Bahia in Brazil itself, and for me it just gives such a different taste profile. I think it's spicy and has a sweet note at the same time, and that's what I like about this wrapper. And I think when I start to smoke it, or when I gave these cigars to a lot of people in Switzerland in the beginning, they were a little bit hesitant, and I knew why, because they never had this sensation before. So they were, and I said, keep going, you will see. And after the third, the fourth, and fifth cigar, they fell in love.
Yeah.
So I said, this cigar, most of the time you don't fall in love. It's not love at first sight,
Yeah.
but once you get into it, you love it and you will stick to it
Yeah.
because you want to get this sensation again and again. So I would say it's quite a powerful wrapper. It really has a lot of taste, and
And that's what I've noticed is the Toro and the Corona are two completely different cigars for me.
yeah,
I
because
don't know if
of
you
the
agree on that.
relation wrapper to Biden filler. I agree. The Corona and the Toro are two different cigars.
Because the Toro has this floral element, this fragrance, this airiness to it.
Yeah.
And that Corona, if you want to get straight to the business,
it's there.
It's there.
It's there.
Yeah, you don't have to search for it. It's right there.
So if you really like the Cuba wrapper and taste, yeah, you should try the Corona or the Churchill, and there you really get it.
I'll tell you the other cigar that got people spitting was the short Perfecto of the Gran Añejo Reserva. That little short Perfecto.
Yeah.
When did we have that?
I think Doc bought them all.
Yeah, I didn't. That sounds good.
I didn't see him.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't see him.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
not losing my mind, right?
you made those, right?
Yeah, and you still have them.
I didn't-
Yeah.
You have more?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll take more.
We'll solve that.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you say that. I like the shape in this specific blend also very much.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, you know, we didn't blend it at that, and then you try different sides, and all of a sudden it appears that in one side that you would never think of, it has a sensation that is just unbelievable, and to be honest, in that perfecto size.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
In fact, Doc bought a box for the fantasy team, everybody that played in fantasy this year, and you weren't here, so I think I smoked yours too.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, I'm just here
Yeah,
to
that
help.
makes perfect sense.
I'm just like the IRS, I'm just here to help you.
So I think our first ever ICCU video we did was with Patrick.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
Patrick
remember.
spoke about the Gran Añejo Reserva, which is your red label.
Yeah.
It has, I'm not sure the year, but it has some super aged Andullo tobacco.
Yeah.
If you can, I was running Cameron through this today, and he said, what exactly does he mean by Andullo? Will you explain what Andullo is, what that essentially does to the cigar?
It is a special procedure how you treat the tobacco. Of course, it is very old tobacco, but what they do, they press the tobacco. So they put leaves around it, like palm leaves. Then you put cords, and you press the tobacco. It's over years. The final product looks like a piece of wood. And when you take it, it's not that you take a full leaf. You just take a little hint. You put it in the filler. It's very dark, very strong. It's a ligero leaf. And it's just, I compare it, it's like you would put pepper on your meal. You put the Andullo in your cigar.
So
And
that's the dancing. That's what dances on your palate.
Absolutely. It's very special. Not many people use it, and it gives that little extra kick. You know, at the time people were chewing it. It's quite strong. It has a sweetness also to it, and it just gives that little kick to the cigar that we like a lot in the Gran Añejo.
That makes perfect sense. See, I always thought it was an Andullo wrapper, but based on the other Andullo that we had not long ago, it was so intense. I thought there's no way it could be the wrapper.
It's in the
But
filler, and it's just a hint. And if you look at it in the light, you will see that there's a little dark spot in the filler that you can see from the outside. That's the part of Andullo.
The sweetness of this cigar. We smoked it last week, and Cameron hadn't smoked a Patoro, so we smoked all the Patoros at the same time because you got to learn it. But this particular cigar, and I'm talking the red label Gran Añejo Reserva, the balance, the depth, the different things that happen, the sweetness that rang through, but the best way I put it is a flamenco dancer. It has that little, the way it comes in has this rhythm about it. It has this dance, and then when you exhale it, the cleanliness of it, it just dissipates.
And it's
you
clean,
can
no?
It's super clean.
In fact, I'll go back to the very beginning when Patrick was here, we had this cigar, and I kept smoking the Gran Añejo Reserva. I kept smoking it, and something wasn't right, and I couldn't figure it out. And I called him. I called him in Switzerland, and I said, Patrick, what in the damn hell is going on with this cigar? I can't figure it out. And he goes, the flavor's leaving. I said, that's what it was. And he explained to me how within about a minute, there's no flavor on your palate. Mm-hmm. He said it's like champagne. It's like, you taste it, then it's gone. And with that cigar, on my normal puffs, before I would get to the next one, I would, this still has a little residual flavor. It's still kind of lit up the side of my palate a little bit. Mm-hmm. That was just gone. Like I hadn't smoked anything. And he started laughing at me. And he, of course, he's probably thinking this weird American is calling him and going, what's wrong with your cigar?
3 o'clock in the morning.
But it was the fact that I was smoking it, but the flavor was gone, and that's what was screwing with my mind, was everything else kind of sits around. The flavor just, something will sit on your palate, and that one was just clean when it was all done. And I mean, it's a very, very unique cigar. very unique.
So for those who are joining in, this is our Tuesday Cigar Talk. Thank you for joining us. Hit that share button as you're watching with us. We have Pablo who's here with us from Switzerland. Super jet lagged, still 2 o'clock in the morning for your time. And here it is a Tuesday, joining us with some Lone Elm. Toss out your questions, please. We want your help. We need your help to kind of. We don't need your help because we can sit here and talk about F1 or whatever. But please just drop your questions, anything that you may have on that side, so we can keep that rolling through.
So Zach's apologizing that he's blowing up the feed, but he's having a good time because he's getting a chance to sit and have a cigar and get a knowledge bomb, as he's put it. But no, for a long time, we'd always see Zach on these feeds coming in whenever we do our shows. And then one Saturday, I'm sitting out here, and he's like, "Hey, I'm Zach." I'm like, "Oh, Zach, great! I mean, now I got to put a face to a name." And so we start talking. I'm like, "So where do you live around here?" And he's like, "Oh, I live in Hobbs, New Mexico."
Which is what, 6 hours?
So it's at least probably more than 6 hours.
El Paso's 10.
Yeah.
And so that's another hour or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
he's
all of Switzerland
he's
away.
12 hours away.
Yeah.
But we sat here and he got a dose of ICC and of course walked out with a bushel of cigars and he was in a good place.
Yeah,
But
love having him in.
He's
love
awesome.
having him in.
No, it's impressive how you engage people here at the show. I'm watching Saturdays at the shop a lot from Switzerland, and I see people coming in, I don't know, from
All
South
over the place.
Africa, all over the US, but all over the world, and I'm amazed. I mean, even my girlfriend who doesn't smoke cigars, now she watches this show, and she said, I asked her why, she said, I just love the Franks, you know. I love listening to you guys, and it's a true story, you know. So there is something that
You don't have to be
that
into
you guys
cigars
do
to watch
that
this.
people love.
Yeah, that's very sweet of her to say.
Well, it was funny because one of the guys had a what did he have? He was telling me that his wife walked in, and he had made some smart ass comment on here, and we were going at it, and she's like, "Why is that old guy going after you so hard?" And he's like, "Oh, you didn't see what I typed."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he had typed some really smart ass, probably a Husker comment, and we just attacked.
Yeah.
And all she heard as she walked in the room was, "Who's that asshole coming after you?" Because we're calling him out by name, you know.
It's a beautiful time right now. I think it's, especially, you sit in a lounge that's full on a Tuesday. You have people who are connected. They're having conversations. I don't know what's happening. I don't know why it's happening. I'm sure there are a number of factors, but boy, it feels good to be the benefactor of what we get to do together.
Yeah.
You know, it's incredible, and we just had our Halloween party, and I wish you were there for that. Which you had been to. You've
I've
been one before.
been. Oh, that's the party of the year.
It was to watch everyone just be children, just come in and dress up and have a blast. I'll tell you what. Most of them had about a children's IQ when they left because Pops made the drinks, and Pops doesn't drink, so he didn't know when too much alcohol.
Good mix.
I made 8 gallons of drinks, but it was 3.5 gallons of liquor inside.
And my friend Carlos sent me a message after and said, "Bitch, that was 97% alcohol."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I thought, mission accomplished.
Yep.
It was just
The
what a
first ones
riot.
were very, very scientifically mixed, and then our little Hispanic girls that were working the deal came out and goes, "Mr. Dave, liquor's all gone." I go, "What? All gone?" So I come back in and I'm like, I pull out the recipe and I'm thinking, you know, if they drank all this, they're not going to remember shit. So I just started pouring stuff in, and I wanted one to be red, one to be green, and one to be blue, and that was it. I mean,
Mission accomplished.
it was.
For sure. The only thing I question though is a lot of the drinks had dry ice in them.
Yeah.
I don't think that's supposed to happen.
Supposed to be drank, is what you're saying, or ingested.
Right. It was literally in the drinks.
You know, it didn't meet code, but
Photographed well.
You ever been to Nicaragua? You should see how they run power down there. So the drinks and power in Nicaragua, basically the same thing.
I'm an ice chewer, and I didn't have any of the the mixed drinks, but I probably would have just
Chewed
downed
on it.
and dry eyes.
That might have been a problem.
Yeah.
What I didn't realize is we went to take a photo and it was in a plastic cup. And Casey Hogan is holding it. And he's like, ow, ow, ow. And I'm like, ow, what?
Yeah.
He's like, this is burning my finger.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think it was a dangerous pursuit. But
No one got hurt.
Yeah.
Everyone's still here.
As far as we know.
We're good.
yeah.
As far as
Yeah.
we know.
Zach,
Yeah.
Zach, we're looking forward to having you in here as well.
I will say the last time we were at the Halloween party, and Pablo and I were sitting in the chairs over here, and he leaned over and he goes, "Do your customers know how good they have it because they're here?"
Oh yeah.
And that always stuck with me. The fact that you've seen cigar lounges all around the world,
Yeah.
and you're seeing something happen here that just isn't normal.
No, it is not.
What are some things that you see across the world that stick with you that should be instituted in every lounge? What are some things maybe that we could learn from places in 5-star hotels and
I don't know
Zurich?
if you can learn much about these lounges, because these lounges, people come and people go.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's interesting because you meet the guy from London, the guy from Paris, you see them once,
Yep.
you share something in common, they leave, that's beautiful, you talk, you have a nice conversation, that's it.
That's
You
it.
won't see
Yeah.
him anymore. And here what I really like, it's family. Of course, you get new family members, some leave as well, but the core is always here. And you talk about cigar, it's knowledge, you grow together. And we don't have that, and you won't have that in a hotel cigar lounge, you
That's
know?
true. That's a good point.
It's just you have a good time, you smoke, whatever you smoke, you take your time, and that's it. And here is really more about it. It's more about family, more about cigars, more about the knowledge, the craftsmanship behind it, and
Yeah.
that is unique. That doesn't happen.
Versus just going to a place to have a drink.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a different ball game, and I like that a lot because we don't have that at that level.
Do you see that at all in Europe? Or is it not just in Switzerland, but as you travel Europe, are there any places that really facilitate the culture, the cigar lifestyle that we call it?
I mean, for sure it exists. Also, you have some nice private clubs in London where similar people come together and share the same passion. But I would say at that level, like here, no.
Wow.
No.
That says a lot.
That says,
Yeah.
boy, that means more than you would never
Yeah.
imagine. That's, it's incredible. And what's up, Marty Upton? But it's humbling because now I will say your lounge in Olten, Switzerland is an experience I wish we could have here. You have a 2-star Michelin chef. I mean, he cooked the whole meal.
Yeah.
We had
That's
some trumpet
also-
player. I don't know what some famous trumpet player. I didn't know you could be famous for playing the trumpet, but he was there.
But
That
he
was
is.
nice.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
also a different level, to be honest, and it doesn't exist a lot. Also,
It
also
was-
because of the law, for us it's a private lounge. We can do that because it's private. So we serve food. You smoke. You can drink. You can have the Petoro wine, the Petoro chocolate. You smoke the Petoro cigars, or you can have the whole Petoro lifestyle at once. That I would say, that is very special, and you won't find that in many places.
Truly tremendous. In your lounge, I remember when Pablo was showing us around. You have some wood beams in your lounge that are older than our country, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
How
Because
old?
we can't change.
You can't.
They're over 200 years, and you can't change. You're not allowed to change it.
The bridge we walked across. What is it?
I don't know.
How do you say it? No. I just want to hear you say it again.
Denkmalgeschützt. It's kind of a protection that you can't
Wow.
go around.
You say that.
DACA, yeah, you know what I'm talking
It's
about.
not gonna work here.
Not gonna work
I will
anymore.
look it up. I know.
Yep.
I will look it up for you guys.
No, it's but the bridge that we got off the train and walked across the bridge. That is some 400 years old or something like that. It's this wooden bridge across this deal, and it is
Across the river, yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm just so excited for you.
We
to
have
go.
bridges in America that won't last 40 years before they came.
No shit. No shit.
We don't have any 400-year-old bridges.
Solid. It wasn't rickety. I mean,
Oh no, this thing is solid.
built to last.
Oh, it's built to last. That thing's not going for another 800 years. That thing is unbelievable. It's true Swiss engineering. As Americans have now fallen in love with Swiss engineering,
Yeah.
vis-a-vis on running.
Yes.
On running is the fastest growing anything in the United States.
It's unbelievable,
It's
right?
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you know,
That's a success story, yeah.
Yep.
I don't. Yeah, it's
There's a lot of guys here that have them.
yeah.
I have
I'm wearing
some.
some right now.
Yep.
The shoes, yeah.
Oh,
Wagner
incredible.
has them.
And you-
Bender has them.
You know, and they have Roger Federer as an ambassador, which is a huge thing, I would say. And yeah, they know how to market the product.
Yes, they do. They
Because
kill it.
it's about the lifestyle, also about the feeling. And to be honest, not much about the product. I mean, you have the Nike shoes, come on.
No,
you know,
this-
it's
I'll
the
tell you.
quality.
It's better than Nike.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right
so.
now.
Yeah.
I'm telling myself it is.
There we go.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
it's Swiss.
it's like,
It's got to be better.
There is this brand, this Swiss brand where I brought a swatch back for Gabe, for my business partner, and I brought him a swatch. I was like, "This is a Swiss watch," and he's like, "A Swiss watch? Oh my god, this is the great!" It was like he doesn't take it off even a little bit, and he's like, "I don't know if it works all the time, but
there's
it's
something
Swiss."
about the Swiss.
Yeah, there's something about the Swiss that the Americans appreciate. I don't know if it's in the accents and the food and the timeliness. I think the discipline of the Swiss is something that a certain percentage of Americans wish we all had. I think that's what it could be.
I think, the quality thinking, and because it's in a lot of industries, even in the tobacco industry, we have a lot of big players, in the coffee industry, in the chocolate industry, even though we don't have the raw product like cacao beans, like coffee beans, we managed to create a product that is unique and that stands for quality, and I think that's the point of Switzerland.
It's something that I think
managed to
America
do well.
had for so long, and I think we need to get back to. Yeah, we shipped everything out, and now we have this, and maybe that's a part of why we're seeing success, is because America for so long was known for manufacturing and quality, and then we shipped everything out for decades, and then everything is not made here, including our whatever we. I think our consumables, nothing is from here.
Nothing
So I think
in this
there's
room was made in the United States.
yeah, and there's this genuine connection with people here that I think people are longing for, whether they know it or not.
Well, I mean, look at Grandpa's Machine Shop. I mean, every one of those machines are probably from the 50s or 60s, back when things were handmade, cast iron, and those machines, they still use them every single day to work on cars and things like that to this day. But go buy a power drill and tell me if you can get through one project in your backyard without having to return it.
I can tell you right now, it won't.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now from experience, it won't. Zach, I have not cracked that moonshine you gave me yet. I see it every day when I walk in my house. It's right there. When you come next time, we'll crack it open together. We'll have some fun with that. He got me some.
Moonshine.
Yeah, he got me real NASCAR. So you know it's American. NASCAR moonshine from Talladega, and it's in a mason jar. And
Okay,
so
that's
I've got it
next
sitting in
level
my
stuff,
house. Yeah,
right?
I'm
Yeah.
a little nervous,
Yeah.
but we'll
It's
have some
basically
fun.
like cherry flavored paint thinner.
Oh, Pablo, Zach coming in. Pablo, what are some of your thoughts on maybe some of the cigar myths of the industry? Are there any myths in the industry that you are maybe disheartened with or would
Yeah.
dispel?
To be honest, for me, the biggest myth still nowadays in the cigar industry is Cuba.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Yep.
it's Cuba. It's like,
Yeah.
and I kind of understand it, because if you smoke a Cuban, you feel like, how many years back, if you like Fidel Castro smoking cigars, and that is still stronger than everything else. Like the construction of the cigars.
The construction is terrible in their cigars these days. When I went down there a couple years ago, I actually sat with the vice president of Habanos, and I asked him, he asked me, because he knew that we did well with Nelson Alfonso's product, and he asked me, what would you think would happen in the United States if Cuban cigars were legal the next day? And I said, well, first let me ask you a question. What percentage of the cigars in your box are you fine with, are you okay with them not performing? No draw, very tight and stuff. He said 5 to 7. And I said, so 5 to 7 cigars in a box of 25. He said, yes, that's acceptable. I said, not in the United States. If they buy 25 cigars, they want 25 cigars that are smokable.
Right.
Yeah.
So that is a big difference. Somebody won't light a cigar and then just throw it out and go light another one. They'll bring it back. And I said, I think what will happen is people will be lined up around the stores to get them, and then they'll smoke them, and then they'll go, it's okay. And he goes, that's what we're afraid of.
Yeah, it's the forbidden fruit that is interesting. And yeah.
And he admitted that was his concern. That
Quality.
Because I think they obviously sell more cigars than they grow tobacco every year. And then the U.S. would put, 30, 40 million cigars? That would put it even in a bigger production jam. And then what happens if they don't sell through the next year?
Exactly. Zach coming in, yeah, he never had a Cuban, but based on the other cigars that he smokes, he'd say that Cubans are overrated. I'll tell you what, I'll raise you on the moonshine next time you're in. I'll give you a Cuban, and then we'll smoke a Toro next to it, and you tell me which one's better. I'll take the label
I'll
off.
take the labels off.
Yeah,
Sure,
and then you tell me which one's better.
I'll tell you, every cigar that he has sitting right there is better than anything that's coming out of Cuba today.
Easy.
In my opinion, better than anything. And I have some cigars, some older aged Cuban cigars, pre-2012, and I've done it. Taken the labels off, gave a guy 2 cigars and smoked them. Every time, they don't choose the Cuban.
And every time they choose the sub $10 non-Cuban.
Yeah.
That's just to put that into perspective.
Yeah.
The Cuban that you gave them was 25, and they chose the 8.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
And for us, I'm sitting here thinking as you're going through, what are we going to do when it comes to that point? Yeah, we'll have Cubans in. It'll bring new people in. It will help grow the industry and help bring people in. But we smoke everything. We have to pass everything. So what are we going to do when we get into that bind? Because naturally we're going to get into the bind of, this sucks.
So Pablo knows the ins and outs. He worked in the factories in the Dominican. You spent how many years in the factories?
A year.
You spent 1 year in the factories in the Dominican. The guys with Habanos told me that they're actually putting tobacco into production that's 5 and 6 months old.
I heard that
And
too.
to think that cigar that tobacco hasn't even gotten sick yet. It hasn't gone through that phase where it's going to start kicking off ammonia and all that. It has not been sick yet. At some point, somebody's going to pull that cigar out of the box, and what do we always hear about Cubans? I smoked it and I turned green.
Yeah.
You know, they get
It's
sick.
not strong.
It's
The
not strong. They're
misconception
getting
is
an
it's strong.
ammonia
It's
blast.
not. It's just not ready. You know, that's what I said. A well-aged, well-constructed Cuban cigars is something beautiful. But when do you get one like this? You know.
Dave's,
Yeah.
from Dave's Humidor.
That's
Yeah,
it exists, but
Yeah, and you just can't sit and wait for that because we have equivalent quality right now.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah,
20,000+ cigars in there that are ready to go.
Yeah, a Series P at $10, $12, I double dog dare you to bring in any Cuban,
Yeah.
and
thank you.
it won't be close.
No, truly. It's
It
simple.
does have a unique flavor. The Cuban does have a unique
Yeah.
flavor,
I
but
agree.
by the way, they all taste the same. And by
That's
the way,
linear,
most of
yeah.
them are all made in the exact same factory, and there is no differentiation. I went to the factory, and I watched them making Partagas, and I watched them making H. Upmans, and I watched them making
Blendering.
and they just banned them
Yeah.
different. It's the same cigar.
Same cigar.
That's it makes one cigar.
That's the look of I've seen
It's a
that
Cuban.
before.
Yeah,
It's a Cuban.
yeah.
That's right, because people don't necessarily come in, they say, I smoke Cubans. It's different because when you have a cigar smoker who comes in, they go, I smoke with my father, I smoke
Yeah.
They smoke a cigar. Or if they come in, they say, I smoke Cubans.
Yeah, I'm a Cuban smoker.
I'm a Cuban smoker.
Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect for me because I know I'm about to blow your mind with something.
Yeah.
So I'll take that any day. But you're right, it's a Cuban. It's not a Cohiba Siglo 6 is what I smoke.
Yeah.
It's a Cuban.
I love when the guys are going, no, the Hoya Epicure is much better than Amani number 2. I'm going, no, they were 8 feet away from each other when they stuck the label on the exact same cigar.
Yeah.
Been there, done that,
It's
saw
on
it.
their mind for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the forbidden fruit. They think it's Cuban. It's got to be good. And as cigar smokers, I often get asked, how many Cubans do I have? We go to smoke Cuban cigars, and I said, I have some, and I'll pick any Nicaraguan, Honduran cigar over a Cuban anytime. Plenty.
And
Yeah.
now it's so interesting, we have so many good growers in Honduras, in Nicaragua, in the Dominican,
Yeah.
in Mexico, and now we're able with so many different tobacco to make blends to achieve nuances, blends that are so different from before. We are at such a different level nowadays compared to before the linear Cuban cigars. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
I love the way you
Totally
put that, the
right.
linear
Yeah.
Cuban cigars. Yeah, I think that's. Well, Jim Trader is chiming in with a really good question. Pablo, how long does it take you, how many trial cigars to get the flavor and construction you want to release it? So let's talk about the Terre Blanche. How long did it take for you to make that cigar where you're really happy with it?
The process of the blending, I think the project started like 3 years ago. And then the blending part was like 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. But to be honest, I can't give a number like that normally it takes that long. No. So I had cigars that I was blending for a year and I was not happy. And then there was a cigar, it's the first or the second trial of the blend. That was
That's
it.
it. Yeah.
So it's difficult to say. It really depends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
And
long
to
do you
be
think
honest-
it's going to take for us to blend our cigar?
I hope a little shorter. But I have an idea in mind. I already have a couple of blends. We will try it, but
You brought them with you?
no, I don't have it.
You son of a bitch.
I don't have it with me.
God, we were going to give him that lighter, too.
But you can have it soon to taste.
Excellent.
And I'm already pretty happy, but yeah. We will see.
What is kind of the composition, if you don't mind me asking, of what you, because we spoke about this maybe a year ago,
Yeah.
maybe about a year ago.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do something, and it's taken that long, and you're pretty happy with it. But just to give you an idea, that's a year, and we haven't tasted anything yet.
Yeah.
So we don't know what it is.
Well, he couldn't
so
get
it's
to the
this.
factory for the longest period of
Well,
time.
yeah, you're exactly right. So
Yeah.
what is the composition of what you're happy with now?
I think you gave me a couple of hints which tobacco you want to have in there, like a Cuba wrap, or like you gave me the shape that you want, like perfecto size, and I integrated that into a blend, but I had to change it 2 or 3 times to have a really round cigar that I liked. The first one that I smoked, I wasn't happy, so you change until I felt, listen, this is now the cigar that Brandon will like. But it's still,
By the way, sorry, but I took the driver's seat on this one.
Hey,
And
you're okay with that?
and just because Sean Raz is watching, why did we choose the Perfecto? Do you remember?
the shape of the car.
Yeah, the 928.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's mine. So we always hop around, and ultimately what we're going to have is we're going to have a line of house cigars that will be longevity. We currently only have one, and that is The House, and that's with Darren Chaffee. And everyone will basically have, this has been our vision since day one. We work with the manufacturers who are nearest and dearest to us, and we'll all be able to have our blend. I'm very selfish, so I took the first one. And so we basically talked through developing something that looks like the 928 that has this certain profile where I live kind of in the medium-ish range.
It is.
With good flavor, nice and round, very smooth, very elegant. We spoke about a little bit of a Cubra, but that will just have this element of 928 in its soul, you know, and that's kind of in my soul as
I
well.
like the idea, you know, you like cigars, you know how to taste cigars, but you also bring the marketing side, and you brought it from the beginning, and I loved it, and I tried to translate it into a cigar, and to be honest, I'm really happy with it, and you will taste it soon, and let's see that.
Well,
So I have $120 in my pocket. Which one of those cigars can I buy?
which ones?
Because I'm out of a cigar and I have money in my pocket. I'm going to buy a cigar.
You already bought those. Those are from the humidor.
Oh, well, I own these already?
Yeah.
God, I'm sitting there thinking I'm going to steal one of his samples.
You choose. No,
All right,
no.
all right, good. Well, I already bought this one, so I just saved some money.
No, it's an exciting project. Your house blend with Petoro, and we will launch it next year.
We will launch it, and however long it takes. If
Yeah.
it takes it until phase 2 in our next building, then that's where it takes it to which we will speak about when the camera's off, and I want to show you kind of where we're at and what the next phase is, because we've been working very, very diligently on what the next home of ICC looks like. I want to get your feedback on it. We're going to do something special. We're going to do something special.
I'm
So if
We're
it
going to have
takes
to have a
us,
Cyrus watch display in there.
yeah, if it takes us a couple years
that
to
would
get
be
to this
an
blend,
idea.
we've
That's
got
a good
nothing but
idea.
time. I mean,
So
we're
we
not
will
going
always be
anywhere.
on time, eh?
We will always be on time. Yeah.
Or time
Oh,
doesn't
shit.
matter there, you know?
Yeah,
Do
how
you-
cool would the Cyrus Lounge be with the big Cyrus clock on the wall?
You know,
You got, and we'll just have it stopped. Time
Time
stands
yeah,
still.
exactly.
Time stands still when you're in
you
here.
know,
10-ish.
The,
10,
big,
10-ish, yeah.
the biggest luxury that we have is time. We should
That's our
forget
only
it.
inventory in life.
you know what?
Yeah.
Because if you look at F1, they have the Rolex, and it starts those cars go off at 2 o'clock or whatever. When it clicks, that light goes on and it goes. And I respect that. And you have these different clock displays.
wall
It would
clocks.
be unbelievable to have a Cyrus be part of that.
But how cool would it be to have a clock that's not running?
Yeah.
Time
Yeah,
stands
yeah.
still.
And
When you get in here,
Yeah.
time stands still. I love
I
it.
like
What do you guys
that
think
idea.
of that idea?
I like that idea.
You're watching just straight up marketing, design,
Yeah.
brilliance.
everyone who's watching this is going to.
10-10, like you said, it's the most beautiful angle of the. He's right.
Yeah.
Is it really? That's the perfect time?
Yeah, because the angle of the two hands.
And by
You know where his
accident.
dirty mind
It's
went.
like-
No.
Like this.
That is the thing. Yeah. It's the
10-10. It's the
That's
mo-
so funny
arms,
because
yeah.
since the beginning,
But it coincides
for
with
no
Saturday.
reason, Saturday at the Shop kicks out at 10:10 every
10-10.
week.
So it's
How
gonna be
weird is
10-10.
Yeah,
10-10. It's
And it's-
10-10
I never
at
knew this.
ICC.
I never knew this.
10-10-ish.
We've been pretty swift.
We've been good,
We've
yeah.
been pretty swift for about a year. Holy shit! I never knew that. Oh yeah, time is the biggest luxury we have. You're exactly. How cool would that be to have a Cyrus wall clock there? Oh, I can feel it.
I
Yeah,
can
this
see it for
is. This is There is a lot of things happening right now that people who are joining us will be in the lounge, and they'll talk about. You know what? I watched when they talked about
They talked-
this.
that's the
right
wa-
there.
that's the clock.
That's the clock.
Yeah.
You're gonna see
10-10.
that.
Yeah.
Stand still.
Now we have to explain to a Swiss watchmaker why we have a watch that doesn't work.
It's okay.
I don't understand. Why doesn't it work? It's supposed to work if this is Swiss engineering.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's good. It's cheaper to do.
Oh yeah.
Make it in China, it'll be great. We gotta buy 100,000 of them.
Yeah. No movement.
We'll give everybody one when they come in the door.
Yeah, but it will be like Apple, designed in California.
Yeah.
They don't talk about how many people try to kill themselves for the fucking for the phones, but yeah, designed in Switzerland. Well, you guys, are you designing? Are you in Switzerland? Are you in
Yes.
Geneva?
Yeah.
Okay.
And to be honest, not many people can say that. We are 100% Swiss made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many watch companies are 100% Swiss?
I can't tell, but the smallest part.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what about Rolex?
Yeah, you have to ask them personally.
Okay. Good. Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
Swiss movement doesn't have to be made in Switzerland. It's just the movement.
Yes, absolutely. It has to be made in Switzerland.
does,
But there are parts that are coming from a
From
part.
places.
It's a certain percentage that you need to go over 50% that needs to be made in Switzerland. Then you
Okay.
can use the Swiss made.
Okay. Yeah.
Interesting. We had a cigar manufacturer that recently had a cigar that had a 20-year-old or 25-year-old pre-embargo Cuban tobacco in it. One little piece of one little leaf was inside the cigar, and they promoted it as this. It has 25-year-old pre-embargo, or it has 25-year-old Cuban tobacco, some bullshit. But it was like literally a fragment of a leaf that
stem.
was in there, and who even knows if maybe it flew over Cuba? Who knows? But
It's
Yeah.
all marketing.
it
It's
was
all marketing.
All marketing.
Yeah. You got to be careful.
I'm sure
with
somebody
marketing.
smoked it and said, "Oh, I tasted it."
Ooh, I tasted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
There
I'll
you
never
go.
forget that. I'll never forget there was a time that there's this particular dickhead in this industry, and he's, we all know the type. He's the guy that knows everything because he taught everything to everyone. And he was sitting in the back. He just decided he was going to sit in the back one day, and he's smoking a cigar, and he likes it. He asked Andrew, what is this blend? And he said, whatever the blend was. It's Condega and Jalapa, and it's got a Yamastral wrapper. And he goes, that's right. I was going to say that because, yeah, I could taste the Yamastral wrapper. And he came back, I'm sorry. It's Ometepe. And he's like, oh, well, then
No, you
Ometepe
don't.
tastes like the
Yeah,
Yamastral. And it's like, okay, dickhead.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I got you. That was to watch how white that guy got. Oh, it's my favorite.
I remember that guy.
You-
He didn't last long.
He didn't last long.
Wow.
No,
I'm trying to place some.
I'll tell you when the camera's off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think somebody who's watching probably knows
Yeah.
exactly who this guy is.
Or they know somebody like him.
We all know a guy
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
No, it's. I'm excited to have you all week. What's your
Me too.
schedule look like this week?
I will travel around a little bit, see a couple of retailers in the area, and then end up with the big party on Friday, which I'm really looking forward to.
It's going to be a blast. So people who are watching who don't have tickets, if you don't, here's what's going to happen. Go to our Eventbrite page now. Use promo code ICCFAM, and I'll type it in here. That's going to get you one of the 7 remaining tickets. That will unlock it and get that, because if you're hanging here, you have now earned it. ICCFAM, I just typed that there. And that will unlock it. You need to be a part of this. We're going to have Lone Elm Whiskey will be here. Busy Bee will be here throwing down some just good music for people to just kind of jive to. We'll talk about the product. We'll put you on the mic. We do need to figure a day for us to do an ICCU and shoot that.
Absolutely. I will be here on Saturday too, on Sunday.
It's perfect.
So that's the other thing too, is we have the Gold Leaf Cigar Club coming up from San Antonio, and I think they're bringing 20 to 25 guys coming up. Friday, Saturday, leaving Sunday. So there's a group of guys. So San Antonio is what? How far? 5 hours?
Yeah. Is it
5 hours.
No shit.
And they come up twice a year. It's the first time they came up with 9 guys. They went back, talked up the shop. The next time it was like 16. Last time it was 26 guys. This time I think it's 20 to 25. and they all just come up here and smoke for 2 days and then go back. 5
It's a
hours.
pilgrimage.
And so they're coming up for the event.
Yeah.
So it's going to be.
What's the store called? Where you
It's
go
a
to-
club.
Oh, it's a club.
It's just a cigar club, and then they go to different shops in San Antonio.
Because I went to a store once in San Antonio, and we had a little event,
Club
and
Humidor.
this guy were talking about this store, and they said once in a while they're going on a weekend trip
That's
or
what
on
they
a
do.
holiday to industrial cigar company, and all the guys they were like, "Oh, they're crazy, they're going."
Yeah.
And I said, I kind of understand it.
Those are the guys.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. I would never think about. I don't have enough time to come up to the lounge to smoke a cigar.
Yeah.
Well, when you're from San Antonio, which I used to live there, there's no lounge over there that's anywhere near ICC. And I've told you stories about one of the biggest lounges there is that me and my buddies sat for hours smoking cigars, and R&B created a big mound of ash because no one would come and dump it. We'd have to dump it ourselves. The people would never come back and ask us if we're doing okay, never come to check on us. Here, it's like, oh my God, yes, I'm great, I'm doing fine. It's super clean.
It's like
Yeah.
in the 5-star hotel.
Exactly.
Well, and that's we really want to have a 5-star service, and you realize once you get into your groove of what our expectations of what we do and how we operate. Now, we're far from perfect. We have a lot to learn every day. But when you have a guy who's sitting out front right now from Houston, we emptied his ashtray, and he's just like, "You guys don't stop moving. What? You guys are everywhere. What's happening right now?"
Yeah.
"Oh, I just want to make sure you're good." "Oh, this doesn't happen at home." No. I think, okay, cool. That's that extra drive. Yes, okay. That guy, I'm going to make sure he's taken care of.
Yeah.
And our guys, it's like blood in the water for sharks. That's the guy I'm going to make sure he's taken care of.
Yeah, we went back home and went to a few cigar lounges, 2 of us, and we figured over the weekend that we were there, we spent 14 hours in cigar lounges, and not one time one person emptied a single ashtray.
Not once?
In 14 hours, 4 different shops.
You can say the same thing about Vegas, which is
Vegas, we had
heavily.
we're emptying our own at the Win, and the manager is looking at busy walking up to dump the ashtrays like, "What are you guys doing?" The ashtrays are full.
No,
That's the little thing.
the server came up when he was walking to the trash can. They met eye to eye, and it was that moment of, okay, I think I could, and she just got out of the way. And then he went and dumped his own ashtray. It just didn't register. And to me, you got to have clean air, you got to have clean bathrooms and clean ashtrays. The rest takes care of itself. If you can focus on those, all the other tasks that occur with that, it's like the fact we've been back here for an hour. I've seen Ted and Cameron come back no less than 10 times. And they're just floating.
Well, it's
They're kicking
driving him
ass.
crazy that there's ashes in that ashtray.
I know.
Ted looked at it, he's like,
Well, yeah, no, it really is awesome. Jim Trader, he's checking out. Hopefully your oncologist clears you so you can be here on Friday. We have a ticket for you, 100% if you can make it. He's a dear friend of ours.
if he gets it clear.
If he gets it clear, he was diagnosed about this time last year.
No, I think it's been a year and a half.
Year and a half.
I know it's 18
Yeah,
months.
with stage 4 cancer, because of his attitude, his work ethic, and everything involved. The man upstairs, I would imagine, called in a favor, and on your birthday this year, we got the notification that he was cancer-free.
Amazing.
And now he's just in the final kind of waiting game. Hopefully, within the next short period of time, he can come in and join us. But
I did tell him the other day to let us know so we can start planning the world's biggest return to the lounge party.
I hope I can be here too.
Oh,
That would be awesome.
just absolutely incredible. I'm curious, what's your biggest challenge right now? It could be cigars, it could be watches, it could be life. What's your biggest challenge? Yeah, it could be all 3.
I mean, business-wise, for sure, in these days, what's to stay in touch with the people. Because of course you can do Zoom meetings, we did it all over, but at the end it's not the same. Especially in a business like that, which is very social. You need to be at the same table, you need to be looking in each other's eyes, and you can't be staring all the time into a screen. It's just not the same. And I think that was a big challenge. It was the same for everyone, but for me it was a big challenge, and I'm really happy that we're kind of back to normal. Because it's about time.
Yeah, it's about time, especially here in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
It felt, I don't know if you saw in the lobby, but I took down all the COVID restriction
did you?
papers out of the front and thought,
Good.
we're good here.
Yeah.
But,
It's over.
yeah, if you don't know by now, you're a fucking idiot. So, yeah. No, it's,
Were we gonna check out that?
oh, should we open that lighter? Have you seen
My
this?
God. I mean, I saw a picture from Dave, and
No,
it's
no.
just
I've seen the
outstanding.
picture,
Check
but-
this out. Yeah, you're gonna want it.
And, okay, this is exciting now.
So
We
this is the new DuPont Lunar Lander series.
Oh my God, presentation alone.
Yeah, I mean this could be in my Spec Miata right here we're looking at.
So that is the lid.
Is it kind of?
Yeah, it's got that translucent
Yeah.
effect to it.
Oh my
Jesus.
gosh.
So
We gotta put it together.
the Lunar Lander. This is the lighter. The lighter has a satellite dish on the top.
Picks up
And
XM.
the satellite dish ashtray that comes with it. And let's see if we can get that somewhat close. I don't know.
Yep, you're good.
So this is,
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
feel the weight of that.
The gloss. You see your face in the fucking box.
Oh Jesus, yeah.
So they
Wow,
make
it's
399 of these worldwide. This is number 21, I think.
I'm surprised it's not 13.
Yeah. But no, this lighter is very special. We ordered it in May. It's handmade,
Wow.
and it just came in today.
It's beautiful.
That's like holding somebody's baby.
It costs about as much as having a baby, too.
Yeah, it is about there. Yeah. If you're curious about getting one, it's $5,200 for the set.
5,200, and then if you want the matching pen, which is really cool because it stands in a tower and it looks like the rocket that's going to launch, and that whole combo kit is 11,000.
It's a $6,000 pen.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It is incredible.
It's so crazy.
Everybody's just like stunned. What just happened?
Just quiet.
And that's the lunar lander. Yeah.
Jesus.
Very, very cool.
Beautiful.
So are they gonna keep it here or?
No, he said he's gonna take it home, and then if we want to put it on display in the next place, then we can put it in a visible place. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Marty Upton, yes.
Yeah.
You do need another job for all your ATF habits. Most certainly. Most certainly. That is just, that's unbelievable.
Well, I'm sure there's guys that have $5,000 guns, $6,000
Easily.
guns. That's no
Yeah.
big deal.
I have one in my, but I just got in. Yeah.
Yeah. So, lighter, gun.
There we go.
You'll probably use the lighter more than the gun. Maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, unless you're going to the range like every
Yeah.
week or multiple times during the week.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Huh.
And so you're rocking a Cyrus. So we're speaking about all nice things. What do you have on right now?
I'm wearing a Cyrus GMT. Why GMT? Because I have the second time zone, so I have
There you
local Texas time and I have Swiss time on the same watch.
That's how you knew so quickly it was
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning. Which means it's now 3 o'clock in the morning.
That was pretty good at math.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful watches.
Thank you.
So cool.
Now they have watches that are north of 200,000.
Yeah,
So-
that's yeah.
Where do your watches generally sit as far as a price point?
It starts at 12, 13, but most of them are between 30 and 200,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
The one that you just did 10 of?
It's 250,000. But it's okay. It's the most complicated movement that we have. It's a vertical tourbillon, retrograde hours, retrograde minutes, power reserve, and it comes into a sapphire case. So it's a glass case, sapphire all around. So from every angle you see the movement.
When it says retrograde, what does that mean?
Retrograde.
Forgive me
is-
because I'm completely
No,
ignorant at this
retrograde
point.
is coming back. It jumps back. Like for example, if you see here, it's a retrograde GMT 24 hours, and when you come to 24, it jumps back retrograde, and it continues at midnight on the other side.
Okay.
So the hand that jumps back comes back
Okay.
from midnight to then 1 o'clock.
Instead
or-
of just continuing on.
yes.
Why would somebody want that versus? Why would someone want retrograde aside from just nerdy?
Because it's cool.
It's cool. It's a complication.
Mm.
It's technically, mechanically very
Yeah.
difficult to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Which is the one you were just talking about?
Is that one going to be
Yeah,
on the
so-
website?
So the first one on the left, yes, this is the
Sapphire.
sapphire. So it's a vertical tourbillon in a sapphire case.
All you'd have to do is sell your car and then fork up 50 grand for that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
that'd
it's
be
kind of
about it.
a race
Wow.
car on your wrist. Yeah,
And that's the back?
and that's
You
the
can see
back.
the movement?
Exactly. So you can see through the movement.
Yes.
Go check out Cyrus watches if you want to be blown away. Limited to 10 pieces. And they call it pieces as well,
Yeah.
not watches.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I had Pablo send me the price sheet one time thinking I'd buy myself a watch. And I'm thinking, he left all the good guy deals off of it. They just had the fucking price on it. I'm like, well, Pablo, I mean, with the watch, I don't want to age you up for a deal, but, maybe how about a little something,
So that's the fuck you button.
That's the fuck you button. Yeah. If you click that button, you're not qualified.
If you have to ask.
If you say inquire and you don't have his phone number, you're out.
Ask for the price.
Freights.
Yeah.
You're in.
Do you take PayPal?
Oh man.
Yeah, see, I would have bought it, but it only lets me send $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
So over the next 250 days, I can send the money. No.
Yeah.
No. The green light that would create for somebody's wife. If you came stumbling in the house with that, your wife would be like, I'm going to Louis Vuitton for the next week. See ya.
I will live there.
And I'm going to have to buy a car to haul all the shit home.
We need the Cyrus Trunk Show here. We need Johnny Goodner. Liquored up.
Oh, he'll
And
buy
that
2 or 3.
1400 is nothing. What do you- Yeah.
That's sales.
Johnny Goodner liquored up in a baby costume. We had a dear
I've
friend
seen
of
the guy.
ours. Yeah, so in the baby costume, you get him liquored up in a baby costume, he'll buy anything. He'll buy everything. Yeah, the guy gets it. Yeah, it's
What a costume. Yeah, I saw this. Huge.
You should have seen him at
underwear.
7:30 the next morning playing golf.
No.
We're staying on the second tee, and he's like, I've never wanted to sleep in more in my life.
Did he wear the costume?
He brought it with him, and he had it in the cart, but I didn't actually make him put it on.
Okay.
I think he would have. He was still legally drunk through 9. Then he started to wear off, and then he hit a fireball and just came back to life. And he goes, I just took a fireball, and he's all full of pep. And he was back at it, and then started to
Ready to
fall
go.
off the cliff at the end.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, Pablo, it's 3:30 in the morning for you, so we're gonna let you go. But look, thank you is just such an understatement for everything that you do, you've done, you will do, and for being here.
No, thank you for having me.
Oh.
I'm excited to be
Yeah.
here. The first thing I did when I arrived, I ate barbecue.
What'd
Oh
you
my
eat?
God.
What did you have?
I went to Rudy's.
God.
It was the closest I knew it, and I tell you, I enjoyed it
Yeah.
like a baby.
Good.
Okay, all right. We're going to Hutchins.
Well, we gotta get hot. We gotta get hot.
Yeah. We got stuff right here. Yeah.
Oh, I was so
He
excited.
rib.
needs a Texas Twinkie.
Texas Twinkie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
Yeah,
like
we're gonna.
spicy food?
Yeah.
So they do it's called a Texas Twinkie. It's a big jalapeno stuffed with cheese and brisket and then wrapped in bacon and smoked. And it's
Wow.
huge. It's
Yeah.
this big.
Be ready. Be ready. We're gonna figure
I
it out.
am.
We're going to get it, and we'll go live from Hutchins. No,
Me
but
too.
thank you everyone for joining us. Yeah, this is a special one, and hope you really enjoyed it.